You won't stop talking. Why don't you give it a rest?
Rabbit, jabber, rabbit, yep, rabbit, bunny, jabber, rabbit.
Hello and welcome to another PropDog review. Today we are talking about the wonderful iDrop by Tim
Ellis.
iDrop is a trick in which you smash a spectator's phone. It is fun.
Is smashing a spectator's phone funny?
I think so. In the context that Tim does it.
It's a bit cruel. Not think maybe people might be worried and maybe it's a bit, you know.
They should have
Like
insurance.
nasty.
Should have insurance, shouldn't they?
They should have insurance.
They should. Anyway, no. So iDrop is the latest release by Tim Ellis, and it is a gag slash magic trick where you borrow somebody's phone, they drop their phone into this very nice bag, and either the phone can fall straight through and smash on the floor, or you can hand the bag to the spectators, they release a hand, and then their phone falls and smashes on the floor. Their real phone is safe as it can be inside the whole time. So there's no way you can damage the spectator's actual phone. You get a really nice dummy phone that will pass, I would think, for most spectators' phones, so long as you used one of a similar ilk. But it's a really, really fun, great trick, really well routined. Tim's got versions of it that you could use for cards as well, hasn't he? He really has given a lot of thought and a lot of time to this project. He's obviously worked it for a long time and used it in lots of his shows. It definitely hasn't just thought it up one day, released it the next. It has been.
Well, so Tim Ellis, he's an Australian pro, has been for many years, and he's released a couple of other dynamite tricks. This bag is very similar to the coin bag you used to get.
Yeah.
And I suppose you still probably can get them. It's nylon. It's tough. It's sturdy. It is really strong. It's going to last forever, I imagine.
Yeah, there's no way that will.
The switch is super clean. Basically, I mean, I suppose the only requirement really is you'd want a black phone, wouldn't you? You want a phone that would closely-ish.
Yeah. So
I wouldn't worry too much about the size of it. You ask them to turn it off. So that's fine.
remove it from the case as well.
Remove it from the case.
So
Once it's
Tim,
in the bag, because that sort of mesh would really hide any.
Well, let's show them. Yeah. So the actual mesh of the bag, is covering a lot of the actual the look of the phone. So that phone is going to look no different to your phone or my phone, so long as you had an Apple phone. You can get other dummy phones and use those if you so wish. But in essence, their phone will then fall out of the bag and smash onto the floor into bits, really, which
is hilarious.
Which is funny. The way Alex and I were saying about the way you'd act when it happened is if you just stood there in silence looking at it and just let that silence run for really as long as you can.
It's one of the things that I like in performing is that I'd stay there for as long. I'd let the first bit of laughter go until people are almost a bit like, okay.
It got a bit awkward then, didn't it?
And when it gets awkward, I'd still wait. It's one of those things. I'd love to test the audience to see if you can get that second wave. So I reckon if you're really brave, you can get 2 laughs out of it.
Yeah.
And I think it's lovely. I think it is funny. It is really well made. It's really well routined.
Yeah.
And like I said, I mean, even if you did want to drop the phone, I think even just put a deck of cards in and they fall out, or they go all over the stage. You could say, I'll memorise the order of the cards, put them in the bag, and then they could all fall out all over the floor. So you could do loads of stuff with. This bag's really clever.
He's got versions of the bag, so he's got a version where you give a deck to be shuffled by the audience, and if you had a stack deck, you've got the deck loaded where the phone would be, and you go, right, just for transparency, just drop the deck into the bag, and then you've got the gag of either the deck falling on the floor or it landing in the bag, but either way then you've got your stack deck into play, and they are none the wiser. He's got a version, I think, where he's got a load of cards that are dropped into the bag freely, and then they can reach and take one, and
very nice.
And obviously it's got a one-way forcing deck in there, so that they're only going to be able to choose one, the card that he wants them to pick. So
it's a forcing bag as well.
It is, yeah. I'm trying to ascertain.
It's forcing bag. It's a change bag.
Yes, if you held over that gap, you could have the cards legitimately fall in there, and then you have them, if you turned it around and got the audience member to put their hand in and choose one, they would select from the compartment that you needed them to select from. It really is good. He teaches you a whole routine, so it isn't just the breaking of the phone. He teaches you the restore as well, and he's got several ideas that he's built himself and teaches you how to build a really nice nest of boxes, a really nice way that the chute to get the phone into the nest of boxes is disguised as a warranty or a thing from Apple or something like that. So he unfurls this big scroll, and that's hidden his slide that's allowed him to get the phone into the box. And
not too much detail, just giving the game away.
Well, okay,
go easy.
but,
Go easy.
Yeah,
go easy.
But he's really thought it through. It's a really good product, and it's only $45.99, $44.99, $45.99, something like that.
It's incredible what you get. It
Yeah.
is incredible what you get. I mean, actually, just his knowledge and what he's put into the routine is worth £45 without anything. It's one of those things that you hear people who go, well, it's expensive because it is my 10 years of hard work, research, falling on your bum, picking yourself up and rewriting it and really working it. And he's done all of that, but instead of charging what it's really worth, he seems to have slashed the price.
Could easily be double. I'd have paid double for it.
150 wouldn't be pushing it.
I've bought one. It's brilliant. It's really good. The way I'm going to do it in my show is buy a few extra dummy phones just to have the variety of different colours and ascertain what phone the parents have before I start the act. So if I get them to film me doing something earlier, I can go, oh, Dad's got a grey phone. Okay, brilliant. We'll load that phone, and then get Mum up and get her to hold the bag and wiggle her fingers, and Dad's phone breaks on the floor. And I just think the kids. I just think it's so funny for the kids, and
especially when kids are always told to look after their phones. Or mine are anyway.
Yeah. I wouldn't. However, I'd advise you against, if you are doing this in a kids show, I'd advise you against getting the kid to be the one that breaks the phone, because I've done clatterboxes and stuff on children in the past, and they've got so upset. Things like shoe burns, you've got to be careful. You've got to be careful how you play it, because they genuinely believe their shoe's been burnt, or they will genuinely believe that they have just smashed their parents' phone. So I would advise, or the way I'm certainly going to do it, is to get Mum or Dad up to be the one that breaks it, or me. But it just takes the heat and the pressure off the child. But it is definitely a stage act.
I'll just let the child collapse in a ball of tears. It'll all be funny later.
How is that kid's entertaining career going?
It's going very badly indeed. Very, very badly. I'm the world's worst wedding entertainer and the world's worst children's entertainer. So
not the world's worst. I mean, I've seen some of them. Anyway, this has gone on a tangent again. So iDrop is definitely a stage routine. So don't go around doing it close up. It's not the right environment for that. But it is a brilliant piece of fun. You could add it into an existing routine. Any routine where you borrow a spectator's phone, you can bring this into play.
In the routine, it's explained how it's sort of routine so that he can actually decide what phone he gets as well, isn't it? So it's not as if
Yeah, he gets everyone to hold their phones up on one of the shots, and then he just chooses the guy. Yeah. And what's really nice, the last thing we'll say, is he actually gets the lady. Do you remember on the routine, he has the man in the audience with the phone he wants. He then picks another volunteer to be the one to get his phone and drop it in the bag. So then there's that discrepancy between...
She doesn't know his phone.
She doesn't know what his phone's like. She's dropped it in the bag. As far as she can tell, she's the one that then breaks it. She honestly believes that his phone is just smashed to bits on the stage. Whereas if it's the guy whose phone it actually is, he may go, oh, my phone has a sticker on the back, or whatever. But it's brilliant. $45.99, I think it is. Well worth it.
Call your one-stop token. Why don't you give it a rest?
Rabbit, jabber, rabbit, yep, rabbit, bunny, jabber, rabbit.